The stars in the Varni sector were usually calm. It was one of those quiet regions of space where nothing dramatic ever happened. Traders moved between planets, small patrol ships watched for pirates, and the Galactic Council rarely paid attention to this far corner of their territory. But on that day everything changed. A lone Varnian patrol ship, the Sarlis III, drifted along its usual route. Its crew expected a peaceful shift. No alarms, no warnings, no intruders. The ship's captain, Ralvek Torin, sat back in his chair, drinking a cup of bitter blue tea. He was relaxed. His crew was relaxed. The universe felt calm. Then the sensor screamed. A loud, sharp alert echoed through the patrol ship. Lights on the control board flashed red. The calmness shattered in a single heartbeat. "What is that?" Ralvek shouted, nearly spilling his tea as he stood up. His sensor officer, a young alien named Lyra, stared at the readings with widening eyes. Her hands trembled. "Captain, something is exiting hyperspace directly in front of us. Something big." "How big?" he demanded. She swallowed. "Capital ship size, sir. Maybe bigger." Ralvek felt his stomach twist. No capital ships were allowed in this area without permission. This could only mean trouble, pirates, smugglers, or worse, an unfriendly empire. "Raise shields," he ordered. "Charge the weapons but keep them cold. We don't fire unless they do." The bridge grew tense. Every officer watched the empty space ahead of them. Space rippled, like a black mirror bending, then tore open with a burst of bright light. A massive shadow emerged, slowly forming into solid metal. The ship was enormous, much larger than anything allowed in this sector. When its full size became clear, Ralvek felt cold fear run through him. Lyra whispered, "Captain, that's a human battleship." For a moment no one moved. A human ship? Here. This far from human space? Impossible. Humans rarely traveled far beyond their own borders. When they did, it was always with permission. They were known for being careful, strategic, and extremely dangerous when provoked. Yet there it was, towering like a steel mountain, right in front of them. The ship's name slowly appeared on the scanners. Timus Valorian. Every Varnian on the bridge went silent. That name was famous, and feared. The Valorian was rumored to be one of humanity's strongest deep space warships. A vessel that had ended 3 border wars simply by showing up. A ship said to carry weapons that could shatter moons. And now it floated silently in the Varni sector. Why would a human battleship come here? One officer whispered. No one had an answer. The Valorian did not move. It did not power weapons. It simply drifted, quiet and cold, its surface scarred with burn marks and shattered armor. It looked wounded. "Scan for life," Ralvek said cautiously. Lyra checked the readings. "Strange, sir. I'm detecting human life signs, but they're very faint. Very weak." "Are they alive?" "Some, yes. But something is wrong. The ship is damaged in ways I don't understand." Another officer added, "Should we hail them?" Ralvek hesitated. Humans had strict communication protocols. If something had gone wrong aboard their ship, contacting them could be dangerous. But ignoring them could be equally dangerous. "Send a short-range message," he said. "Offer assistance." The patrol ship transmitted a friendly signal. Seconds passed. Then minutes. No reply. The Valorian remained silent, floating like a ghost. Suddenly the ship released a single weak ping, a distress signal. A repeating message in a broken human voice. "Crew compromised, maintain distance, do not board." Everyone froze. "What does that mean?" Lyra whispered. Ralvek stepped closer to the view screen. His eyes narrowed as he studied the great ship. "It means something happened to them. Something they don't want spreading." He felt a chill move down his spine. The patrol crew started whispering among themselves. Humans were resilient. They survived things no other species could. If a human battleship was sending a warning, that meant the threat was deadly. Another officer shouted, "Captain, long-range scans activated. Surrounding systems are receiving the distress ping too." Ralvek understood what that meant immediately. Every alien empire near this sector would hear the signal. They would investigate. They would panic. If they misunderstood the situation, they might think the humans were preparing an attack. The sight of a damaged human warship deep in alien territory was the kind of thing that could spark an interstellar war by accident. "Send a message to the Galactic Council," he ordered. "Tell them we have encountered a human warship in distress. Tell them we are standing by." "Yes, Captain," the communications officer replied. The bridge continued buzzing with fear and confusion. No one could understand why a famous human supership appeared here, fractured, quiet, and alone. Lyra suddenly gasped. Captain, I'm picking up something else. What now? Ralvek asked, bracing himself. Energy spikes, inside the Valorian. The entire bridge turned toward her. Is it weapons? Ralvek asked. No, it looks like internal systems are activating on their own. Something is moving inside the ship. The idea sent fear through everyone. If the humans sealed their ship, and left a warning to stay away, then whatever is moving inside. Ralvek finished the sentence for her. Is not friendly. The Sarlis 3 drifted quietly as the enormous human battleship loomed over them like a dark, silent monument. The burn marks on its hull glowed faintly, giving it a ghostly appearance. A shiver of dread ran through the patrol crew. An unspoken fear hung in the air. Something had hunted the Valorian. Something had damaged it. Something might still be on board. And if it escaped, the entire sector could be in danger. For the first time in years, Captain Ralvek felt truly powerless. He knew one thing with absolute certainty. The galaxy would not remain calm after this day. The unexpected arrival of a single human battleship had already shaken the stars. And the true reason behind its presence had not even begun to reveal itself. The distress signal from the Valorian spread through space like wildfire. Within minutes, every major listening post in the nearby sectors detected it. Within hours, governments across multiple alien empires declared emergency meetings. And within a single day, the entire galactic network was flooded with fear-filled messages. The Varnian patrol ship Sarlis 3 had become the unwilling center of attention. Captain Ralvek stood on his bridge, staring at the floating human battleship. The Valorian remained lifeless and dark except for a few flickering lights near its midsection. It drifted slowly as if the ship itself was exhausted. Captain, Lyra said carefully, we are receiving direct calls from 9 different empires. They all want the same information. Ralvek sighed. They want to know why a human warship is here. Lyra nodded nervously. Yes, sir. Everyone thinks this could be a sign of war, Ralvek finished for her. Every officer on the bridge went silent. There had not been a major war in decades. But old fear never died. Humanity had a reputation, earned or not, for being relentless when pushed. A single human battleship appearing deep in alien space was not seen as an accident. It was seen as a threat. Send them the truth, Ralvek said. Tell them the humans are not attacking. The ship is damaged and unresponsive. Yes, Captain. But even as the messages were sent, Ralvek knew fear would grow faster than facts. Across the galaxy, reactions were immediate. On the insectoid world of Threxus, military leaders clicked their mandibles in alarm. They sent a super warship, their general hissed. Humans are testing our borders. On the reptilian empire of Cadron, soldiers rushed to armories as sirens howled over the deserts. If the humans come here, one officer growled, we will fight to the last scale. On the crystalline moon city of Valoria, scholars debated the meaning of the distress ping. One elder murmured, if humanity needs help, then something terrible must exist out there. And in the Galactic Council headquarters, panic turned to pure chaos. Representatives shouted over each other, accusing, blaming, demanding answers. Why is a human battleship in restricted territory? Did the humans start an expansion? Is this a show of force? Or is something worse coming? No one could agree on anything, except that the galaxy was frightened. Back near the Valorian, things grew even stranger. Captain, Lyra reported, our scans keep picking up irregular energy pulses inside the human ship. Ralvek turned toward her. Weapons. No. We still see no active weapons. But internal systems are turning on and off randomly. It's like the ship is fighting itself. This frightened the crew more than anything so far. Ships did not fight themselves. Something had to be interfering with it. Just then a new transmission arrived, loud, urgent, and full of fear. Sarlis 3, this is the Carvan Empire fleet. We have 3 cruisers approaching your position. Another message followed. This is the Rylos Dominion. A task force is en route. Then another. And another. Within half an hour, 12 alien fleets declared they were heading toward the Varni sector. Are they coming to help? One of the younger officers asked with hope. Ralvek shook his head slowly. No. They're coming because they're afraid. And fear leads to mistakes. If one nervous fleet captain misread the situation, if someone fired a single shot, if humanity detected aggression, the galaxy could burn. Hours later, deep scans gave the Sarlis 3 crew new information. They wished they had never found it. Lyra stood stiffly at her station. Her eyes were wide. She didn't even blink. "Captain, we finished analysis on the scorch marks on the Valorian's hull." Ralvek approached her slowly, bracing himself. "What caused them? Not plasma. Not railgun fire. Not anything used by any known empire." The entire bridge leaned closer. She whispered, "Something tore the hull open from the outside." "Tore?" Ralvek repeated. "Yes, Captain. Not burned. Not blasted. Torn." As if something with incredible physical strength clawed its way in. A cold silence filled the bridge. Something boarded a human battleship. Something strong enough to break through armor that most empires couldn't dent even with full firepower. "What about internal damage?" Ralvek asked. Lyra hesitated. "We scanned deeper. We found more of those claw marks inside." Every officer's blood ran cold. If it got inside. If it survived a fight with humans. If humans sealed the ship and sent a warning. What kind of creature could do that? Ralvek felt the weight of responsibility pressing on him. His ship was small and weak. The Valorian alone dwarfed it. And now a dozen alien fleets were coming, all expecting answers he didn't have. He stared at the monstrous warship through the view screen. It floated silently, like a sleeping giant haunted by a nightmare. "Captain," the communications officer said, breaking the silence, "incoming transmission from the Varnian High Council." "Put it through." The hologram of Counselor Marion appeared, tense, pale, and clearly frightened. "Captain Ralvek," she said sharply, "you are ordered to keep your distance from the human battleship. Do not approach under any circumstances. Reinforcements are coming." "Yes, Counselor." "And Captain, you must avoid any action that might look aggressive. The human government is demanding explanations." Ralvek stiffened. "The humans contacted you?" "Yes. A single message from the Terran Fleet Command. They said only one thing: do not touch our ship." That sentence alone sent a shiver through every officer on the bridge. Humans were watching. Humans knew the Valorian was here. And they were protecting something. Before Ralvek could respond, the counselor added one final warning. "Captain, if whatever attacked that ship is still inside, then the galaxy is facing a threat we are not prepared for." The hologram faded. The bridge fell silent once more, choked with dread. The Valorian drifted like a ghost, huge, broken, and full of secrets. The galaxy was panicking. Alien fleets were rushing like frightened birds. And Captain Ralvek knew the worst truth of all. The real danger had not arrived yet. Something else was coming. Something that had already taken on the might of a human battleship, and survived. The Varnies sector was no longer quiet. By the time the second day arrived, dozens of alien fleets had reached the edges of the system, each one nervous, each one watching the drifting human battleship with fear. The Valorian hung in space like a giant metal corpse, its hull cracked, scarred, and carved with strange claw marks. The Sarlis 3 remained closest to it, assigned to keep watch until reinforcements arrived. But Captain Ralvek felt less like a guardian and more like a creature waiting beside a sleeping monster, hoping it never woke. "Captain," Lyra said softly, breaking the heavy silence on the bridge, "we have received the Council's final orders." Ralvek took a slow breath. "Let me hear them." "They want us to establish limited communication. Try to make contact. But, we must not enter the ship under any circumstances." Ralvek exhaled. "So they want answers but they don't want us taking any risks." Lyra nodded. "Yes, sir." Ralvek looked out the view screen again. The Valorian floated almost peacefully, but he felt the dread beneath that calm. Something inside that ship had fought humans. Something still alive. Still, orders were orders. "Prepare a diplomatic probe," Ralvek said. "We'll send a small craft. Non-threatening. No weapons." Every officer looked tense but they obeyed quickly. A small shuttle, no bigger than a cargo pod, was programmed with a simple mission. Approach, send peaceful signals, record data, return. It launched with a gentle push, gliding toward the silent giant. The bridge crew watched it in complete silence. Meters turned into kilometers. Kilometers into a terrifying closeness. "Probe is approaching the human hull," Lyra said, voice tight. "Begin transmission loop," Ralvek ordered. The probe sent a repeating message. "We are peaceful. We offer help. Respond if able." The message played again. And again. At first nothing happened. Then a faint signal flickered from the Valorian, weak, broken, but unmistakably human. "Captain?" Lyra shouted. "We have a response. Put it on." The voice that came through sounded like it was crawling out of the depths of a dying machine. Weak, metallic, and full of pain. Crew compromised, maintain distance, do not board, containment failing. Then silence. No more words. No other signals. Just that warning. The bridge went cold. What does that mean? One officer whispered. Ralvek stared at the ship, feeling the weight of the human message. It means they are alive enough to warn us, but too weak to save themselves. Another officer asked, voice trembling, Sir, what is containment? What are they trying to hold inside? Before Ralvek could answer, the probe's cameras activated. A live feed appeared on the main screen. It showed the human ship's surface up close. Burn marks, deep scratches, metal bent inward. Something had forced its way into the Valorian. Or several somethings. The probe continued scanning, its small lights reflecting off the broken armor. Then the feed shook. The probe's signal flickered. Static erupted. What's happening? Ralvek's voice sharpened. Lyra worked fast. Something is interfering with the feed. Wait, camera stabilizing. The picture returned, grainy but visible. This time the probe's camera showed something new. A large circular hatch on the human ship. Moving. Not opening. Not closing. Just twitching. As if something on the other side was testing it. Pull the probe back, Ralvek ordered immediately. It's not responding. Lyra exclaimed. Something is blocking its navigation commands. Before anyone could react, a new noise filled the bridge, a low rhythmic thud. Thud, thud, thud. Coming through the probe's microphone feed. Something was striking the hatch from the inside. Art. Cut the feed, one officer shouted, panic rising. No, Ralvek said sharply. Keep recording. A final heavy impact slammed into the metal hatch. The camera caught the surface bending outward. Cracks formed along the edges. Lyra whispered, Captain, if that opens. He nodded grimly. I know. Then, as suddenly as it began, the thudding stopped. The hatch went still. Dead still. The probe drifted quietly, its lights flickering. After several tense seconds, Ralvek said, Recall it. Now. Lyra tapped the controls again. Yes. We regained manual control. Bringing it back. The probe slowly reversed course. Everyone released the breath they didn't realize they were holding. But just as it reached halfway between the Valorian and the Sarlis III, something unexpected happened. A faint voice, another human voice, whispered through the speakers. Not mechanical this time. Not official. Just a terrified, desperate whisper. It's still here. Lyra gasped. There's someone alive on the ship. A human. Ralvek leaned forward. Trace it. Can we find the source? No, Captain. The signal came and vanished instantly. The bridge was silent for a heartbeat. Then Ralvek said something he had hoped he would never say. We need to board the ship. Every officer turned to him in shock. But Captain, the human said. I know what they said, he replied softly. But someone is alive in there. Someone terrified. And whatever is locked inside with them is still active. Another officer added, if we open that ship, we could unleash whatever they trapped. That is exactly why we will not open anything, Ralvek said. We board carefully. Small team. Only to find survivors. We do not touch containment. We do not open sealed doors. His officers exchanged fearful looks. The truth was simple. No one wanted to board the Valorian. No one wanted to risk meeting the thing that had attacked the humans. But duty was duty, even in the face of terror. Ralvek took a deep breath. Prepare a boarding team. Before they could respond, the comm panel lit up. Another message. Another distress call. This time short and clear. Help. Before it wakes again. The bridge filled with dread. Something on that ship wasn't dead. It was sleeping. And if it woke, no one knew how far the nightmare would spread. The boarding team gathered in the Sarlis III hangar, standing in a tense line beside their shuttle. Each one wore reinforced armor and carried scanners instead of weapons. The council made one rule very clear. No guns. No explosives. No threats. If humanity misunderstood anything, an interstellar war could begin. Captain Ralvek stood in front of them, his face hard. You are not fighting anything, he said. Your mission is to enter, locate survivors, and return. No exploring. No touching unknown systems. No opening sealed doors. Understand? The team nodded in silence. Ralvek's eyes lingered on the youngest member, a brave officer named Tava Rin. She had volunteered first, something Ralvek admired but also feared. Youth often mixed courage with danger. Stay focused, he told her quietly. The ship isn't empty. Tava nodded, swallowing fear. Yes, Captain. We'll find whoever called for help. Moments later, the shuttle launched from the hangar and glided toward the massive, broken hull of the HMS Valorian. Inside the shuttle no one spoke. The closer they got to the human warship, the bigger it became, its black metal surface stretching like a wounded mountain. Deep scratches and bent armor shone under their floodlights. Look at this, whispered one officer. I've never seen damage like that. Tava stared through the viewport. Something tore into them, but what? The shuttle latched onto a docking port detected by the probe earlier. It was half-crushed but still usable. With a hiss of pressure and a groan of old metal, the doors opened. A smell rushed out, burnt metal, old smoke, and something faintly biological. The kind of smell that stuck to memories. Tava's heart pounded. Lights on, she whispered. They stepped inside. The corridor was dark and silent. Emergency red lights flickered weakly, creating long shadows across the metal walls. The team walked slowly, their armored boots echoing softly. Every sound felt louder than it should. Tava scanned the walls. These marks, they're everywhere. Massive claw marks cut deep into the metal, long and uneven. Some gouges were as tall as a person. Some looked like something had scraped its way along the ceiling. It hunted them, one officer murmured. Their path led them deeper into the ship. Along the way they found signs of a terrible fight. Burnt armor plating, shattered lights, dried blood smears. Human blood. One officer whispered, "Why didn't the humans escape? Why seal the ship?" Tava pointed to a destroyed bulkhead. They tried. But whatever attacked them, it was too fast. Her voice trembled. Everyone kept moving. Minutes later, their scanners picked up a faint life signal nearby. Human life signs, very weak, announced the lead medic. Close. Maybe only one deck above. They found a damaged ladder shaft and climbed into a new hallway. This one was worse. Parts of the floor were melted as if a chemical substance had eaten through it. Tava felt her breath catch. What could do that? No one answered. The life sign grew stronger. Door ahead, said the medic. The survivor is behind that door. The team approached slowly. The door was cracked open, twisted by brute force. Tava pushed gently and it slid enough for them to enter. The room was a small maintenance bay. And in the corner, half hidden behind fallen crates, lay a human. He was young, maybe 30, with short black hair, pale skin, and a uniform torn in multiple places. His breathing was shallow. His eyelids fluttered weakly as the light touched him. Human detected, Tava whispered, swallowing her shock. And he's alive. The medic rushed forward, scanning him. He's dehydrated, malnourished, injuries across his ribs and legs. But he's alive. The human opened his eyes slightly. He stared at Tava with confusion, then fear. Don't open anything, he whispered in a broken voice. Tava kneeled beside him. We won't. We're here to help. What happened to your ship? The human swallowed painfully. His voice cracked. It got in, from the dark sector, a creature, we never saw anything like it. Tava leaned closer. He continued, it boarded us. Cut through decks. Moved fast. Too fast. We tried to seal it in the engine room. But we didn't know. His breathing shook. It learns. It adapts. The medic tried calming him. Rest. You're safe now. But the human grabbed Tava's wrist with surprising strength. No. You don't understand. He struggled for breath. It's not dead, it sleeps when hurt, then wakes stronger. The team exchanged terrified looks. The human tightened his grip. It must never leave this ship. Then his eyes rolled back. He fainted. Tava felt a wave of cold fear. Whatever the creature was, it was still on board. The team carefully lifted the unconscious human onto a stretcher and began moving back toward the shuttle. They moved slower now, listening to every tiny sound. Halfway back, the lights flickered. The ship vibrated. A deep, echoing noise swept through the corridor, like distant metal bending or a giant exhaling. Tava froze. What was that? The scanning officer stared at his readings, eyes wide. Movement. Something huge, changing position 2 decks below. The medic whispered, "Is it waking up?" They picked up their pace, anxiety turning into panic. The ship vibrated again. This time stronger. A boom echoed far down the hallway, like a massive fist slamming into metal. Tava's breath caught. It knows we're here. The scanning officer nodded shakily. It's moving toward our sector. Slowly, but definitely moving. The team broke into a controlled run, keeping the humans stable as they hurried back to the docking port. Lights flickered again. Another boom. The sound of metal tearing echoed faintly behind them. Tava didn't dare turn around. They reached the shuttle and loaded the human inside. Everyone scrambled aboard. "Detach!" shouted the pilot. "Now!" The docking clamps released. The shuttle fired its engines and shot away from the Valorian. The moment they gained distance, the ship behind them shuddered violently, like something inside was striking against the containment doors again. Tava stared back through the viewport. The human's words echoed in her mind. It must never leave this ship. The shuttle flew toward the Sarlis 3, but Tava knew the truth. They had only seen the beginning. The real danger was still inside the Valorian, and it was waking up. The bridge of the Resolute Dawn felt heavier than ever. Every officer stood at their station, watching the holographic map that showed dozens of alien ships closing in. The enemy fleets moved like a tightening ring, each minute shrinking the circle around the lone human battleship. Captain Reyes remained calm, but his eyes showed the weight of every decision he had made so far. "Status?" he asked. Lieutenant Arya responded quickly. "Enemy ships are now within long-range scanning distance. Multiple factions. No coordination between them yet, but they are all heading directly toward us." Commander Holt shook his head in disbelief. "This is insane. They're not even allies. Why are they acting together now?" Reyes answered quietly. "Fear. We surprised them. And fear pushes enemies closer than friendship ever can." A moment of silence fell on the bridge. Suddenly, a new alert flashed red across the screens. "Captain?" Ensign Dallin shouted. "Another fleet just arrived from hyperspace. It's the Zyrak Dominion." Holt cursed under his breath. "They brought the heavy ships. Those dreadnoughts can slice a cruiser in half." The tension in the room rose instantly. Reyes straightened his coat and spoke with controlled authority. "Open a channel to every alien fleet in range." Arya hesitated. "All of them, sir? Even the hostile ones?" "Especially the hostile ones," Reyes replied. After a few seconds, the holographic projectors flickered to life. One by one, alien commanders appeared, some with scaled faces, some with glowing eyes, some wearing metallic armor, and others hidden behind masks. They were all here for one reason: the sudden, uninvited arrival of a human warship. Reyes stepped forward. "This is Captain Elias Reyes of the UNS Resolute Dawn," he announced. "We mean no harm. Our FTL drive malfunctioned, and we were thrown into this region of space by accident." The aliens studied him with suspicion. One of them, a tall, insect-like creature from the Varkesh Empire, clicked its mandibles. "Humans do not make accidents. Your ship should not exist here. Leave this territory at once." Reyes replied calmly, "We would love to. But our systems are damaged. We are attempting repairs." Another alien, a Zyrak commander with crimson skin, leaned forward. "Your presence threatens the balance of power. If the humans have come to spy, we will destroy your vessel before you report back." Reyes raised an eyebrow. "If we wanted to attack, we would have opened fire already. We came with no weapons charged." Commander Holt whispered, "They don't trust us." "None of them." Reyes nodded but kept speaking. "We request one thing, time. Let us repair our engines. After that, we will leave your space and never return." The Varkesh commander hissed. "Why should we trust humans?" Reyes took a slow breath. "Because even if you believe the worst about us, this situation is still better solved without bloodshed. You all fear that we are here for war. We are not. Destroying us won't make you safer. It will only start something none of you want." The room fell silent as the aliens processed his words. But then another hologram appeared, one no one expected. A small figure with silver robes, representing the ancient and mysterious Lorati Council, spoke. Their voice was soft but carried authority. "We have studied humanity," the Lorati emissary said. "We know they do not lie easily about survival. If the human ship says it is damaged, we believe it." All other alien commanders looked shocked. The Lorati rarely spoke for anyone. The emissary continued, "We propose a temporary ceasefire. Let the humans repair their ship under strict monitoring. If they attempt anything suspicious, we revoke our support." Reyes bowed slightly. "Thank you. That is all we ask." The Zyrak commander snarled. "I do not like this. But we cannot ignore the Lorati." "Very well. The humans get time, but only a little." One by one, the alien commanders signed the agreement. The screens went dark. The crew exhaled, the tension finally breaking. Holt looked at Reyes. "Sir, How did you know that would work? Reyes smiled faintly. I didn't. But I hoped the Lority would step in. They respect reason more than fear. Arya added, still this buys us only a few hours. Maybe a day. Reyes nodded. Then we use every second. The crew jumped into action. Engineers rushed to the engine room. Technicians worked on the damaged FTL core, sparks lighting the dark corridors. In the medical bay, injured crew members rested as doctors prepared for any sudden battle. Outside the ship, the alien fleets positioned themselves around the Resolute Dawn. Their ships faced inward like wolves circling a wounded prey. But they did not attack, not yet. Inside the engine room, Chief Engineer Lana wiped sweat from her forehead. If I push the core any harder it will explode, she warned. Reyes responded through the comms, we don't need full power, just enough to get us back into safe space. Lana nodded. Then give us 3 hours. Maybe 4. After that, we'll have something that can jump. Reyes closed the channel and returned to the bridge. His eyes scanned the holographic map. The fleets were too close. Any mistake could trigger war. Holt approached him quietly. Do you think they'll let us leave? Reyes was honest. No. I think most of them are counting the minutes until they can shoot us. Holt looked uneasy. Then what do we do? Reyes looked out the viewport at the stars. We finish repairs. And when the time comes, we make our move. A soft alarm chimed. Arya checked her console. Captain, we are receiving another transmission. Reyes frowned. Which fleet? Arya swallowed. None of them. It's coming from deep space. Unknown origin. The bridge fell silent again. Reyes stepped forward. Put it on screen. The message opened. A distorted voice spoke only 5 words. Human ship, you are not alone. The screen flickered and went dark. The crew stared in shock. Holt whispered, Sir, what does that mean? Reyes felt a chill run down his spine. It means, he said quietly, that something else is out there, and it knows us. The bridge of the Resolute Dawn was silent. Every officer stared at the blank screen where the mysterious message had appeared only seconds ago. Human ship, you are not alone. The words echoed inside every mind on board. Lieutenant Arya checked her console again. Captain, the transmission origin is unknown. No coordinates. No signature. No repeat signal. Commander Holt leaned forward. Could it be a trap? Maybe one of the alien factions trying to confuse us. Reyes shook his head. No. That voice didn't match any known alien language or accent. And the encryption level, that wasn't theirs. Arya added quietly, it felt human, sir. The idea sent a shiver through the room. Reyes spoke calmly, run deep spectrum analysis. Scan all nearby space for hidden ships, cloaked signals, or probe activity. Arya nodded. Already scanning. Outside the Resolute Dawn, the alien fleets remained in formation. Their ships glowed with weapons on standby ready for war. But even they had detected the mysterious transmission. Confusion flickered through their lines. Suddenly, multiple alien channels opened at once, their commanders demanding answers. The Zyrak dreadnought captain snarled, Human! Who sent that message? Are reinforcements coming? Reyes answered honestly, We don't know. The Varkesh commander clicked its mandibles loudly. Your lies will doom you. If another human ship appears, we will fire. Reyes kept his voice firm. We have no contact with any other human forces. Whatever that signal was, it surprised us too. The Lority emissary appeared, calm as always. We are also investigating this intrusion. Until we confirm the source, no one will take action without cause. The alien channels closed, though the tension remained. Reyes exhaled slowly. All right. Everyone stay sharp. We don't know what's coming. Scene shift. Engine room. Chief Engineer Lana worked beside her team, sparks flying as she welded a cracked power conduit. A young technician approached. Ma'am, the FTL core is stabilizing, but the energy signature is fluctuating. Lana nodded. That's normal for a damaged drive. As long as it doesn't drop below 30%, we're safe. The technician hesitated. Did you hear the message? Do you think someone is coming to help? Lana paused. Her voice softened. Right now, I just want the ship to hold together. Whoever sent that message, we'll deal with them when we can move. Back to bridge. Arya's console chimed sharply. Captain. I'm detecting something. Reyes stepped closer. Explain. She zoomed into a faint cluster of energy particles drifting in space, invisible to normal sensors. It's a quantum trail, she said. A very advanced one. Holt frowned. How advanced? Arya replied, beyond our tech. Beyond alien tech too. Reyes felt his heart beat faster. So whoever sent that message has technology far superior to anything in this region. Arya nodded. This trail suggests a ship, or something like a ship, was here less than a minute ago. Holt whispered, it was right next to us. Reyes stared at the display. Something had been watching them so closely that none of the alien fleets noticed. Something powerful. Something silent. Something human, or something that wanted humanity to know it existed. A soft alarm beeped. Arya's eyes widened. Captain, new signal detected. From where? Arya hesitated. Inside our own ship. Everyone froze. Reyes' voice dropped to a low, dangerous tone. Show me. Arya highlighted a location on the map, the lower decks, near the auxiliary cargo bay. Holt blinked. No crew is scheduled to be there. Arya added, and no alien boarding parties detected. Reyes turned to the security team. Commander Holt, assemble a squad. We're going to investigate. Holt nodded and rushed out with armed guards. Reyes handed command to Arya. Maintain position. If anything changes, alert me immediately. Arya saluted. Yes, sir. Auxiliary cargo bay, lower decks. The heavy doors opened with a metallic hiss. Holt stepped inside with 5 security officers. Their flashlights cut through the darkness. The cargo bay felt colder than usual. Silent. As if the air itself had stopped moving. Holt raised his hand. Spread out. Look for anything unusual. As the team searched between crates and storage containers, a faint blue shimmer appeared at the center of the room. Sir, you seeing this? A guard whispered. The shimmer grew brighter, forming a shape. A human figure. Not solid. Not fully visible. More like a hologram mixed with static. Holt aimed his weapon. Identify yourself. The figure lifted its head slowly. Its voice was the same one from the message. You must leave this place. Holt stepped closer. Who are you? The figure flickered. A friend. A warning. Holt kept his weapon steady. Why contact us? What are you? The figure's form sharpened slightly. The shape was unmistakable, the outline of a human wearing old Earth military armor. I am what remains of a forgotten mission, it said. And you are in great danger. Before Holt could speak again, the figure rapidly dissolved, vanishing into thin air. The room fell dark once more. One of the guards whispered shakily, Sir, that was a ghost. Holt swallowed hard. No. Whatever that was, it was technology far beyond ours. He tapped his comm. Captain, you need to hear this. Bridge. Moments later. Reyes listened to Holt's report, his expression turning increasingly serious. A forgotten human mission? A warning? Advanced technology that could hide from every alien fleet? Reyes felt the situation shifting. Someone, or something, was manipulating events behind the scenes. Before he could respond, Arya shouted, Captain. All alien fleets are moving. Reyes spun toward the main display. The alien ships were slowly tightening their formation around the Resolute Dawn again. They think the signal was ours, Arya whispered. Reyes took a deep breath. Prepare all systems, he ordered. We may not have much time. The alien fleets were closing in again. Hundreds of ships from different empires moved like a tightening trap around the Resolute Dawn. Weapons charged. Engines glowed. Fear and suspicion pushed every alien commander closer to war. On the bridge, Captain Reyes stood tall. Report, he ordered. Lieutenant Arya's voice was tense. All alien fleets are forming battle positions. They think we are hiding something. Commander Holt stepped beside Reyes. They're not wrong. Something was on this ship. Reyes nodded slowly. Yes. But whatever that entity was, we don't understand it. Not yet. Arya interrupted with urgency. Captain, Zyrak dreadnoughts are locking weapons on us. Reyes made his decision. Open a channel. Arya hesitated but pressed the command. One by one the alien commanders appeared again. Their faces were angry, afraid, and ready to fire. The Zyrak commander spoke first. Human ship. That signal came from within your vessel. You are hiding allies. You have deceived us. The Varkesh commander hissed. Your request for time was a lie. Reyes held out a calm hand. You all detected the signal. You all saw its nature. That was not human technology. It was something much older, something unknown. The Lorati emissary leaned forward. Captain Reyes, your internal sensors show strange energy readings. Is this true? Reyes didn't hide anything. Yes. Something appeared in our cargo bay. Something that looked human but wasn't fully physical. The Zyrak commander growled. A threat. Reyes shook his head. A warning. Silence followed. Then Reyes spoke with steady confidence. We are trapped here as much as you are. You all fear humanity because you do not understand us. But today, we all witness something none of us understand. He looked each alien commander in the eye. We can fight. We can destroy each other here. Or we can live long enough to discover what that message truly meant. The bridge remained quiet as the aliens processed his words. Engine room. Chief Lana frantically checked readings. FTL core is at 40%. If we push it now we can jump. But the drive might fail mid-jump. A technician asked, should we risk it? Lana sighed. We may not get another chance. Back to bridge. Arya suddenly gasped. Captain. The unknown signal is back. Reyes turned sharply. Location. Arya's fingers danced across the console. All around us, no above us. The stars outside the viewport began to distort, like hidden ripples moving through space. Commander Holt whispered, something's coming? The ripple expanded, forming a shape, long, massive, and silent. A colossal structure slowly faded into visibility. Not a ship. Not fully. More like a shadow of metal and light drifting across the void. Every alien fleet froze. The mysterious voice returned through every speaker in every ship, alien and human. The line must not be crossed. Shock spread across every fleet. The alien commanders stared in terror. What is that? One cried. Reyes felt the same fear but stayed steady. This proves we were telling the truth. The voice echoed again, deeper this time. Leave now. Danger approaches. A pulse of energy spread from the shadow structure, rippling across space. It wasn't an attack, more like a warning shot. Alien weapons powered down instantly. Reyes inhaled sharply. Arya. Prepare jump calculations. Lana needs every second. Already sending coordinates. Arya replied. The Lorati emissary spoke urgently. Human ship. Go. Whatever this being is, it does not want you here. The Zyrak commander growled but nodded. We will not fire. Leave before that thing returns. Reyes bowed slightly. Thank you. Engine room, final moments. Lana slammed a switch. FTL core at 50%. It's now or never. Bridge, escape. Reyes stood firm. All crew brace for jump. Arya shouted, FTL drive charging. Holt gripped the railing. Captain, what about the shadow structure? Reyes looked at the dark mass above them. If it wanted us dead, we would already be gone. The voice spoke one last time, softer now, almost human. Run. Arya's display turned green. FTL drive ready. Reyes raised his hand. Jump. The Resolute Dawn launched forward, space bending around the ship. Light stretched into long lines. The alien fleets shrank into the distance as the battleship escaped the forbidden region. Behind them, the shadow structure faded away once more. After the jump, the ship reappeared in safe, open space. No alien fleets. No mysterious energy. Just quiet stars. Commander Holt exhaled deeply. We made it. Lana's voice came through the intercom. Engine is stable. We'll need days of repairs, but we're alive. Reyes looked out the viewport, his voice soft. We encountered something ancient today. Maybe human. Maybe not. But it saved us. Arya turned to him. Sir, do you think it will appear again? Reyes answered thoughtfully. Maybe. Maybe not. But one thing is clear. Whatever it was, it wanted us to survive. He looked at his crew. And we will. The Resolute Dawn set course for home, leaving behind a region of space filled with secrets, fear, and a warning whispered across the stars. Humanity was not alone. And something had just made sure the galaxy understood that.